everyone, it's Miss Mary and I'm back here to show you guys how I achieved this hairstyle all by myself at home while also using these curly bundles that I purchased on Amazon. So I'm going to jump right into the products that I used to start. I've got some Expression pre-stretch braiding hair I ordered on Amazon, some braid gel that's extreme hold. This is the best kind. I also ordered it on Amazon. I've got some Organics curl mousse for the hair after I was done. And we'll jump into these bundles that I ordered on Amazon. So these 3 bundles were $89, which was a really good price. I have the 22 inches, I have the 24 inches, and then that last bundle that I had already opened was 20. So it was just a good taper. I did end up using basically all 3 bundles for this style as well. So this is how I parted my hair to start. I know it's kind of rough, but I'm just showing you guys the positioning of my part behind my ear. And I did go in and clean this up a bit, but the best part about this is it really doesn't need to be perfect, especially if you're doing it yourself. This is all going to be covered up with hair anyway. I'm just showing you guys the hair butter that I used to moisturize, and then I'm braiding 2 anchor braids. I did one exactly like this on the other side, and then here you can see I'm just connecting my braids and braiding straight down in the back. This does not have to be perfect at all. Once again, it will all be covered up. And then here is where I was kind of showing you with this loose piece. I'm just gonna go ahead and sew it up in the back so it's out of the way. Now for a close-up on these curly bundles. You can see they're actually really soft and much fuller than I expected, to be honest. I like to double weft my hair when I sew it in. It's just a faster process for me. Can't forget some scalp oil to moisturize your hair. Just the whole point of a protected style is to grow your hair underneath, right? And so here I'm just sewing that up in the back. This was just another view of me looping it in. And this is looking real rough, I know, but it does not have to be perfect at all. I'm telling you, especially when you're doing things yourself, this is how I feel. I don't have the time to be trying to make things look perfect that literally no one is gonna see. So anyways, here I am starting out this first bundle. I hope you guys can kind of see how I insert my needle, wrap it twice with the thread, and then pull it through. I do this basically every stitch just for extra security. And I've never had any issues with this. I've done my own sew-ins and everything stays. Nothing's gonna come out. And I think this is just a good way to ensure that, you know, things stay put. Because again, I'm doing this myself. Now, I wouldn't lie to everyone and call this a beginner-friendly hairstyle. Now, it can be beginner-friendly if you're having like a friend that can help you braid your stuff down and maybe even sew in the back, but it's definitely something that can save you a lot of money if you're willing to put the time in to try it out. For me, I was doing this hairstyle to get ready for a trip, kind of last minute, and I just needed it to last for the 2 weeks, so I decided to save myself spending, you know, $250 and just do it myself. So here I really wanted you guys to see this close-up of how I stitch in my braids. I loop under the braid, and then here's what I'm talking about. I kind of just loop the thread twice and pull through. I know there was some hair in the way, but essentially that's what I've been doing this whole entire time. And if anyone was wondering, I don't like to cut my wefts, so I definitely do the fold over method. Here's how you can kind of see I fold over my tracks and continue sewing just to prevent shedding and, you know, get the most out of my bundles that I purchased. I'll get into it. This is 2 bundles down and I'm about to install the final bundle. As you can see, just with the 2 bundles, the hair is pretty full, but I definitely wanted it as full as possible. I don't even think I ended up using all 3, but almost. And so here I'm just kind of giving you guys a close-up of my plan to close this up. Not gonna lie, at this point I was so tired of everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this track over that last bit of braids and then sew the closing part to my anchor as I'm showing you guys here. Of course, it'll be up higher and that will complete the look. And I was just showing you guys a close-up of me going through my weft. Whenever I'm starting a new bundle, I always go through the weft so that my knot has something to catch onto, as you can see there. I also will sew forward for like 1 or 2 stitches and then backwards again. This is just for security, so I don't have bundles flying out or getting loose when I brush my hair or something. And here you can see I'm just closing up that last bit at the top. I do try and do these closer together just to, you know, ensure that everything looks decent. And side note, the weft on these bundles was actually really easy to sew through compared to some of the expensive bundles I've purchased. I don't know if that's because of the thickness of them, but nonetheless, it was much easier. And with me finishing up here, I just cut whatever was left. To be honest, I could have sewed all of this in, but I was just ready to be finished. So you can see I had a decent amount of hair left that could have added some extra fullness, but I thought it was fine how it was. Like, this is still very much full. Now, of course, straightening your hair is completely optional, but since I'm not the best at feed-ins on myself, I wanted to make things a little bit easier for me to like grab my hair, part it and everything. But again, completely optional, just me being lazy, I guess. But you know, whatever makes your life easier, whatever floats your boat, just do what makes you happy. And this is me just annoyed. My natural hair color isn't brown, it's not black, it's just gray. I don't know how to explain it. So anyway, here's my rough draft for my parts. I like to go ahead and kind of try and decide how I want my parts to look, and then I'll just twist them back loosely so I can clean things up later and not have to really change much. Definitely a great tip for when you're braiding, just even when you're braiding other people's hair, just to make things go by faster and you're not having to, you know, remeasure your parts all through the process. So I just clip these away, and then now I'm just cleaning up what I already had before I start each braid. And this to me is just way easier and way faster and just kind of eliminates the mistakes. And y'all, this braid gel is really the truth. My friend actually put me on because I usually braid his hair and it's what he used, and I finally was like, what is this? And it doesn't ever leave a white cast. It almost sets, so you do want to you don't want to take too much time when working with it, but it sets in a way that it's like your braid is going to be stuck. And this was really helpful for me, especially because I can't always grab my own hair as tight as I could do on someone else's head. So here, since I was going to attempt to do a stitch braid, I'm like separating each of the pieces just to make it easier on me. The stitches were barely even there, but look, I tried. I think I'd do a lot better next time. It's just been a whole long time since I've done feed-ins on myself. This is how I set up the hair from small to large and just kind of added in those pieces as I went. I started my braid off and I think I did like 2 braids and then added in this small piece of the hair to feed in, and then I did another braid, kept adding, and you'll kind of see, I have some other shots where you can see like the process of me adding in the hair. It's really simple, honestly. I think the hardest part about feed-ins is just trying to keep them neat, but adding the hair in is not the worst part, I promise. Now you would think my smart butt would put the curly hair up before starting this, but of course I didn't, so it kind of got mixed in with my feed-in. So here I am struggling to get it out, and I'm not even gonna lie, when I finished there was a few pieces that still made it in there, but hey, I tried. I really did. And I was very pleased with what came out. So now I'm just braiding everything down, and I forgot to tell you guys, I accidentally bought 58-inch braid hair, which was definitely way too long for the hair I had. So I ended up braiding it back up and then using scissors to kind of trim things down and thin out the braiding hair so that it would end with the curly hair that I had and not be too long, because that would just look weird. So you can see I'm just kind of shaving my scissors down different sections and taking off most of the length from the braid. I know I could have done this before, but I really think it was easier to just do it on my head and create less of a mess, because you know with braid hair it can get messy. And I was impatient. So yeah, I'm just using my shears and thinning this all out until I get to the desired length. Make sure you don't go too short though, because as you braid, the hair does get shorter. So just keep that in mind. And then I was just braiding this down. So you can see how it tapers down after I've thinned it out. And that is exactly what I was going for. So first braid down and it looks good. And we are on to the next. Just look how crispy this part is. So I'm really just doing the same thing through each part, but I wanted you guys to see this kind of zoomed in version of me adding in the hair. So I just put the hair in and put the one piece up, complete one braid or one twist, and then I put that piece at the top down. Here I'm just detangling, I'm not braiding. You'll see a better one after this one, but then I just put that piece down and then do like a normal braid, if that makes any sense at all. So after one complete braid, I do the exact same thing. And then here I am again, just thinning out the braid hair so everything can be the same length. You know, I had to check that my real hair wasn't getting caught in the process because it's so long. But you can kind of see that stupid gray color hanging out in there. And we are finishing up. As you can see, this, I kind of let the braid gel sit for a little too long. Okay, so here we go again with me adding in this braid hair. So you can see I literally just toss in one piece, I do a twist, and then I add in the second piece and complete like the full braid. And you just keep doing that same thing. And I add in pretty large pieces once I get to this point, just because with the larger parts at the top, you don't have as much time. I don't know how to explain it. So here I just add one piece under my finger, do one twist. So I'm just trying to make sure there's not tangles, and then take that top piece and twist it right under. And then here I'm finally just dipping my braids in hot water. This helps loosen them up so they're not super stiff. And then I sprayed some leave-in conditioner on the hair. This is my It's a 10 leave-in spray. It just works great on my real hair, and I decided to be bougie and use it in my extensions too. Normally I'll just use something else, but oh well. And then I'll go ahead and take this mousse. I put quite a bit because I didn't plan on traveling with my whole can of mousse. So when you put a lot of mousse, you can just keep reactivating it with water. And that's exactly what I did. So you can just see how pretty the curls are. I really like this hair. I was genuinely surprised. You can see, I'm like, wow, this hair actually looks really nice. For Amazon, I mean, think about it. This was less than, these were some cheap bundles, let me tell you. And we'll see if they stand the test of time, but if they don't, I wouldn't even feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Because doing the math, these are $30 bundles, and I have felt some pretty crappy hair just as soon as I installed this hair. And even putting in the product, I knew for sure that my money was well spent because the curls look nice, the hair wasn't shedding all over the place, the hair feels soft, and I mean, the video doesn't lie, it looks really good. I definitely decided to go for no leave out so this could be as low maintenance as possible. But just look how nice this turned out. I didn't mind the little piece of track at the top, but if you're more worried about that, you could like use a crochet hook and fix that up. But for me, I really didn't care. And just look at this close-up of the curls. Like, this hair actually is really beautiful. And you guys, that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. The link for the hair will be in the description box. And like, comment, and subscribe for more. Bye.